Welcome to the Crawlcast. I'm your host, George Krawczak, and this is what happened on WrestleMania Night 1. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. So let's get started. So the first match was Jey Uso versus Gunther, and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion is Jey Uso. This match was a little bit weird. There was a lot of rest spots, and it felt like it took a long time to start to get going. Also, Gunther has always been a fighting champion, and the whole story is that, he'll fight anyone, and Jay's a bit scared of him. And then in the middle of the match, Gunther was just scared of Jey Uso, and he started to run away with the title. He then hit Jey Uso with the title. Jay kicked out, Gunther also hit Jay with splash, and Jay kicked out. And then Jey Uso hit Gunther with three Uso splashes, and then he made Gunther tap out to his own sleeper. It was a little bit weird because Gunther tapped out way too early. It felt like he should have kind of passed out because of who Gunther is. He's the guy that never quits, so it felt like he should have passed out instead of tap out. Overall, the match was just okay. I felt like it was a little bit too long, and it only started to get going in the last couple of minutes. I also think it's pretty funny because a lot of people complain that Jey Uso didn't really have a move set, and so he basically just stole Gunther's moves and started hitting the power bomb and the chops, and so that I thought that was just kind of funny. But overall, this match is just kind of okay. The next match is The New Day versus the War Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And your new Raw Tag Team Champions are The New Day. I thought this match was pretty decent. It was interesting because there were a lot of great tag team moves, but at times it felt like they were a little bit going in slow motion. And it felt like that someone was late for their spot, and it was just a little bit slow and a little bit sloppy. Overall, it was pretty good, and I thought there was a good tag team action. Just the crowd did not care about this match at all, which is unfortunate. Like, I don't know if it's just a night one thing because night one last year the crowd wasn't very good, but also you can kind of blame that on the cold, whereas you can't blame that on the cold here. Overall, the crowd just seemed not super invested. And the next match is Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And first off, Jade Cargill's entrance kind of gave me a little bit of PTSD from the Perfect Storm SummerSlam match between Triple H and Brock Lesnar. Also, I don't know if this was kind of like a botch, but the graphic said just Jade. And also, I felt like a lot of the commentary kept calling her Jade. So I was wondering if maybe they're just dropping the last names like they did to Cesaro and Rusev. And I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I just thought that was a little bit weird that it didn't say Jade Cargill, it just said Jade. Overall, this was a pretty good match, and I felt like Naomi and Jade really worked well together. There was an amazing spot where Naomi kind of jumped at Jade for it looked like a top rope neck breaker, and Jade just caught her in midair and hit her with a jackhammer. That was really great. And then Naomi hit a great top rope bulldog on Jade Cargill, and then Jade just killed Naomi with a power bomb and then hit her with Jaded to win. This was actually a really great match. I don't think a lot of people expected this to be such a good match, but it was really good. And overall, I think this was kind of an average night one, but this was a really, really great match. The next match is LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, and your new United States champion is Jacob Fatu. This seemed to be the first match that the crowd was really into. There was a great German suplex spot from the top rope from LA Knight to Jacob Fatu. And then there was an awesome spot where LA Knight hit a BFT like mid moonsault from Jacob Fatu. I get it, you're not having LA Knight win, but it felt like if that would have been a great finish to the match if LA Knight was winning. That was really an amazing move. So Jacob Fatu hit a top rope Samoan drop and then hit two top rope moonsaults to win. This was a pretty decent match. Overall, I think this card has been good, not great. The next match is Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. Rey Mysterio did get injured on SmackDown, unfortunately, so Rey Fenix did take his spot. And this was kind of interesting. It was a really great match. El Grande Americano hit a 450 senton, which was absolutely insane. And then El Grande Americano hit Rey Fenix with a metal plate in his head, and then hit Rey Fenix with a diving headbutt with the plate in his head for a win. I'm a little bit surprised Rey Fenix lost right after he debuted. Like, this is his first loss, and this is his first WrestleMania. Also, losing. But also keep in mind, El Grande Americano, he is the greatest luchador of all time. So it does make sense that Rey Fenix would lose to him. And I think the story is actually going really great, and I think they should keep doing it. Where El Grande Americano, I think he's a great character, one of the best characters on TV, and I think it's great seeing him win. And I just really hope when they do eventually reveal his identity, they reveal it as not Chad Gable, like saying, hey, it could be anybody, and then all of a sudden he takes off the mask and it's not Chad Gable. I feel like that'd just be a perfect way to end the story. The next match is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. Uh, So this was a pretty good match as well. There was great in-ring psychology by both of them, with both women working on each other's knees. It really felt like Tiffany was the MVP of this match. Her athleticism is just unparalleled from anyone, and it's just super insanely good. And then just overall, like I said, there's a few spots where it felt like it was a little bit discombobulated and a little bit botched, but overall, just Tiffany, her, like I said, her athleticism was just so good. She did unfortunately tip a tooth, which is unfortunate. Hopefully, she'll get better from that. But again, overall, this was a pretty good match. Tiffany hit the prettiest moonsault ever to retain her title, which I think it was the correct decision to have Tiffany retain. And this is the final match of the night: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. So I just want to say, it was kind of funny making their entrances because Seth Rollins was wearing a garbage bag and he had a flamethrower and the lights went out, and I felt like that was the perfect time to use the flamethrowers when the lights went out. But unfortunately he didn't. And then it was a little bit weird because CM Punk had a big video package talking about how his fire burns, and they're really referring to his old theme song, The Fire Burns by Killswitch. And it felt like that really should have been his theme song coming out, and then all of a sudden he comes out to Cult of Personality, which I thought was kind of a bit weird. But this was really a great match. There was a lot of great crowd brawling, and I felt really bad because the guy had his chair stolen by CM Punk, which I'd be a little angry if I had my chair stolen. It felt a little bit by the numbers at times where it's like, okay, two guys fight, you take one guy out, or you have three guys in the ring, and then you take one guy out, and then you come back, and it felt a little bit by the numbers at times. But it was interesting that Seth kept trying to team up with Roman Reigns, and then Seth and Roman almost hit the Shield powerbomb, and then Roman hit both Seth Rollins and CM Punk in powerbombs through the table. So Paul Heyman side of CM Punk, or side with Seth Rollins, that's the big news. And I thought this was pretty obvious because as soon as Paul Heyman gave CM Punk a chair and then was just standing next to him, instead of walking away to let him hit the move, he was just standing next to him. You're like, okay, it's obvious he's going to turn on CM Punk. And then once he turned on CM Punk, everyone's like, okay, I feel like it's obvious he can't side of Roman again. That is too easily of a story. Because I always thought there was going to be a twist with Paul Heyman. I thought the biggest twist was going to be, okay, Paul Heyman comes with Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden he turns on Roman and sides with Punk. I thought that was going to be the big end of night twist. But then all of a sudden they announce a couple weeks ahead of time, no, he's going to be with CM Punk. So I thought, okay, so clearly Paul Heyman's going to turn on CM Punk. I thought that was kind of the most likely outcome. The reason why I did still pick CM Punk, because I thought if you look at the next pay-per-view, if John Cena wins the title, and even if John Cena doesn't win the title, I think CM Punk is more likely to be in the world title picture than Seth Rollins. So I was still a little bit surprised because, like I said, I just don't think Seth Rollins is really in the world title scene right now. But overall, this is a really great match. So that's what happened on WrestleMania Night 1. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. So let me know your favorite match in the comments below as well. And I'll see you on the next one.